holy bananas and strawberries and dragon fruit. We have some absolutely insane flex spoilers here on April 5th. I've actually got a lot to cover, so I'm going to break it up into 2 double upload videos. I'm going to start with the ultimate sauce and then move on to some cleanup. So let's start with As Foretold. Here we have a 3-mana enchantment that says at the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on As Foretold. Then, once each turn, you may pay 0. Rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast with converted mana cost of X or less, where X is the number of time counters on As Foretold. This card is probably going to be pretty bananas. Overall, I could see a lot of degeneracy, a lot of fun things going on with this. Doubt it'll see play in Standard, although I don't know. But certainly, you blue players will have a lot of fun with it. Then we have Cast Out. This is a 4-mana enchantment with Flash. And when Cast Out enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Cast Out leaves the battlefield. Excellent removal spell. Going to be an instant presence in Standard, I would imagine. It also has cycling as an option. Then we have Channeler Initiate. This is a 2-mana 3/4. Say what? When Channeler Initiate enters the battlefield, put 3 -1/-1 counters on target creature you control. Tap, remove a -1/-1 counter from Channeler Initiate. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I could see this card being awesome in draft and having a lot of versatility. Overall, pretty interesting card. It makes me a little worried about these low mana cost, high power creatures if people can abuse the counter holdbacks, but fingers crossed that they may have play tested that. Songler's Copter, Heart of Kiran. Okay. Here we have a Mythic Combat Celebrant. A 4/1 for 3. When Combat Celebrant hasn't been exerted this turn, you may exert it as it attacks. When you do, untap all other creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Very flavorful, very powerful card. It's going to be a beatdown dream card. 2 additional combat phases, or an additional combat phase is always a super powerful effect in limited play. Will it see play in Standard? I don't know. It seems powerful enough. 3-mana 4/1 seems pretty spicy. If it had haste, it would almost certainly be played. We'll see. Then we have Drake Heaven, a 3-mana enchantment. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. This is a very powerful enchantment. At least I could see in limited play, draft, or sealed on your pre-release Amonkhet pre-release event. Playing some sort of blue-white cycling, creating a bunch of 2/2 flyers deck. It'd be pretty spicy. Then we have Essence Scatter. It's a reprint, 2-mana. Instant spell, counter target creature spell. Trade a crummy 2-mana counter spell for your opponent's bomb. Very, very strong card. Will always see play. Then we have Floodwaters. This is a 6-mana return up to 2 target creatures to their controller's hands. Now it adds cycling. This is very similar to what, Grip of the Royal or something like that. I remember another 6-mana bounce 2 creatures spell, but I think that said you can't recast them the next turn. Is that what that was? A solid limited card, maybe an EDH, doubt it. Casual play, fine. It'll have its place in some draft decks as the 22nd, 23rd card, probably. Then we have Impeccable Timing. Here is a 2-mana common. Impeccable Timing deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Staple removal. I see a lot of 2 toughness and low toughness creatures in this set. So this will probably be pretty premium removal in your draft or sealed events. And we have Oracle's Vault, a 4-mana rare artifact. Exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. Put a brick counter on Oracle's Vault. Side event, or side note, can't wait to see everyone bringing all those Legos to pre-release. That's going to be pretty flavorful. Exile the top card of your library by tapping it, sorry. Until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Activate this ability only if there are 3 or more brick counters on Oracle's Vault. So this could get into some pretty degenerate things in the EDH world. Constructed or standard and modern seems highly unlikely, but there's always some angle that I don't see. So I mean, there's usually more than one angle that I don't see. Then we have Prowling, what is it? Seropard. This is a old spoiler. I can't remember if I actually hit this one or not, but a 3-mana 4/3 cat snack seems like worth mentioning twice if I've already done that. It can't be countered. Creature spells you control can't be countered. This is a 4/3 for 3. This is probably going to see some standard play. It's very powerful, has a lot of upside, and it's a great hate card for playing against control. And we have Sixth Sense, a 1-mana uncommon enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. I could see that going on an unblockable creature or something with evasion, like flying. I don't think you draft this super high, but I mean, I think you play this in sealed. Card advantage is very important. Maybe you do play it in draft, but getting 2 for 1 is generally something you want to avoid in any situation where you have limited resources. Now we have Temet, Vizier of Naktamun, a 2-mana 2/2 that at the beginning of the combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets +1/+1 until the end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. You can also emblem. For 5 mana, exile this card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a white zombie human cleric with no mana cost. Emblem only as a sorcery. So you can bring it back. You can get extra value. 2-mana 2/2 always has value. The fact that it also interacts with tokens favorably makes it pretty good. Blue-white, again, we're going to see tokens and cycling in this archetype. So I think overall it's, you know, a very solid card. Where it will go, I'm not sure. It's a legendary creature, so certainly someone may build an EDH deck around it. But let's talk just a little bit about... well, first of all, we have a god to share. I want to bring that up for you. And also it's, of course, translation, because, I mean, it'd be nice to read it. Kefnet the Careful. We have a 2 and a blue legendary god, flying indestructible. 3 mana of flying indestructible seems very good. It cannot attack or block unless you have 7 or more cards in hand. You can play 3 and a blue, draw a card. Then you may return a land you control to its owner's hand. So very flavorful, very interesting card. Will it see play? Drawing cards on a stick seems very, very good to me. Outside of that, I anticipate, I look forward to seeing the decks. Oh, and so there's another card spoiled today. What was it? I'm trying to think. What was that card? Oh yeah, another insane Gideon. Another insane flex Gideon. This is Gideon of the Trials. It is a 3 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker that protects itself. Gadzooks. So we have 1 and 2 white, +1 until end of turn. Prevent all damage target permanent would deal. Great. His 0 ability, until end of turn, Gideon of the Tribals becomes a 4/4 human soldier creature token with indestructible. That's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him. And another 0 ability. You get an emblem with, as long as you control a Gideon planeswalker, you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. This is going to be very annoying to play against if you don't have a way to exile a planeswalker or to deal with Gideon. Playing this Gideon, emblemming him. Is that the right word? Emblem? The act of embleming. Well, anyway, you get an emblem. You could play, let's say, turn 2 Heart of Kieran, turn 3 Gideon of Trials, +0 Gideon, activate or crew Heart of Kieran, make people very sad that you play Magic the Gathering. I look forward to the Oops All Gideon decks featuring this Gideon and then the Ally of Zendikar and things like Gideon's Reproach and all sorts of other interesting Gideon cards. What are you going to brew around? What do you think about this card? I mean, clearly it's going to see play in Standard. Is it in a part of a control shell? Is it more aggressive? What is the future for this particular Gideon? There's also some interesting conspiracy theories around Gideon, and this may be the end of him temporarily, although just like Game of Thrones, nothing in the Magic the Gathering world seems to stay dead forever. So hopefully you'll stick around. Make sure you click that bell. Not only are you subscribed, but you click that bell so you get notified each and every time I upload a video, because I'm going to have a second spoiler video just a little bit later tonight. So stick around for that. I hope you enjoyed my spoiler coverage. We'll talk to you again real soon.